What's going on YouTube? I can come at you with another Final Fantasy Record Keeper Relic Draw video. If you guys are enjoying this, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, share, support. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done one of these because with the recent few events, whatever, with Record Keeper, I don't know, I just didn't really feel like recording them, so I've just been kind of taking it easy, doing the events at my leisure, and I don't know. Like, I just haven't been in the mood to record Record Keeper, really. I've still been playing, of course, but, you know, I just haven't been recording anything. Anyway, so hopefully I actually upload this, because I did record the Relic video for Final Fantasy IV, but I just actually kind of forgot that I recorded it, so. Anyway, first up, we have the Shooting Star weapon for Rinoa. It is her Burst Super Soul Break weapon, 94 attack, 139 magic. Changes Rinoa's Soul Break to Sorceress's Awakening. Deals 8 magic earth and ice attacks to all targets. Grant haste and verse 1 to the user. True Spell Stonefall deals 4 magic earth and elemental attacks to one target. And True Spell Ice Rays does 4 magic ice and elemental attacks to one target. These are quite good. Again, you guys know how I feel about the dual element type things. You'll always be hitting for, at the very least, neutral damage. Well, rather, I can't say at the very least neutral damage, but you probably won't be hitting for null damage the majority of the time, especially with ones that are ice and elemental. If it's like, you know, fire and ice, you might hit for null damage if they're immune to both fire and ice, which would really suck. But see, like, I feel like that's something you just look up before the boss fight. You wouldn't actually just go in there and, you know, actively use a burst attack that would potentially just be doing no damage to the boss. I like this. I don't really know like how much I would actually want this as a burst soul break. In regards to like other burst soul breaks is what I mean. Because, you know, burst soul breaks are always good. It's just how well, you know, they actually stack up between with other burst soul breaks. You know, the upcoming ones coming out and stuff like that. Next up, we have the Vega for Laguna, 128 attack. It's a gun. Changes Laguna Soul Break to Freezing Barrage. Deals 7 range ice attacks to all physical ice attacks to all targets, and temporarily lower the ice resistance. So deals 7 ice attacks to all targets. A nice AOE, and then it actually gives all targets Imperial Ice, which is quite nice. So you could just do this and then let loose with like Shiva and stuff like that. I can't really think of any other ice attacks. I guess Snow's Frost Strike. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head. I think, no, Terra's Burst Super is fire and water, I believe. I think. Are there any Burst Supers that are ice yet? I'm not sure. Or any multi-hit soul breaks that are ice? I don't remember off the top of my head, but pretty good. Laguna's a pretty interesting character as well. Next up, we have the Beast Killer for Quistis. 94 attack, 139 magic. It is a whip, so it's a ranged weapon. Limited usage, but hints Quistis Soul Break to Cerberus. Grants haste to all allies and reduce the offensive magic casting time for 3 turns. I don't think Cerberus was a summon in Final Fantasy VIII, but you could expect triple from him as a boss fight. Actually, it might have been a Guardian Force, because he was the optional boss, and a lot of the optional bosses are Guardian Forces. At least from what I remember. That's cool that it reduces offensive magic casting time for 3 turns. Not only that, Quistis also has she's probably like the most anyway. She probably has the most beneficial record dive increases stat wise. So that's pretty cool as well. The only thing is, you have to choose between this and using Mighty Guard 8. So if you have both, you might be in kind of a, you know, like kind of thing. But I figure like you would want to use this if you like going for game. Like, you know, the boss is, you think you could burst on the boss within the next 3 turns. No, when I say 3 turns, I mean 3 turns for all your characters. So that's the equivalent to about 15 actions. You know, if you think you can burst them down real quick with that, I guess you would use this over using Mighty Guard 8, if you want to be a little reckless, that is. Next up, we have the Scorpion Tail for Selfie, 65 attack, 117 magic, 142 mind. Changes Selfie's Soulbreak to Rapture. Deals 4 white magic non-elemental attacks to all targets with a high chance to interrupt their actions. I like this one. Give Selfie, an offensive push. It also allows you to interrupt, which is really, really nice as well, which I like. I would really like to have this one because I still haven't really honed anything for the white magic nightmare, because I still haven't uploaded it, as you guys can see, because I just can't beat it. I haven't really honed much of anything since then either. So this will be a nice addition if you're struggling with that specifically, or like if you just need DPS, this will help with that as well, because it's white magic, but it's also not elemental, which is kind of interesting, because usually white magic is typically like holy. That's it. Actually, I don't know of any other white magic damaging move that aren't holy attribute. I think there's another non-elemental one in this game, but outside of that, I don't think I've ever seen one of the other Final Fantasies that I've played. Anyway, next up we have the Party Dress for Rinoa. 20 attack, 123 defense, 123 res. There's Rinoa's Soulbreak to the Brothers. Deals 3 summon magic, earth attacks to all targets, and temporarily infuse the user with the power of earth. This is okay. I guess what you could do is you could use Party Dress into Rinoa's Burst Super Soulbreak, but at that point you might as well just use her Burst Super Soulbreak, because you'll get more DPS out of that. You will probably get a little bit more initial DPS out of the N Earth, but I feel like you might as well just use the N Earth if you're gonna do that, because Rinoa can't use Life Siphon, but what you can do is use as a black mage, she'll be able to hit the weaknesses, so you'll get more Soulbreak charge for that. And I guess that if you really want to do that with a striker, you could. I don't think I would. I don't even think it's a really good idea, because like I said, I think just overall just using the Burst Super Soulbreak. Outside of that, I really don't know of a use for N Earth, to be honest, on Rinoa. When it's Fat Chocobo spam, I guess. Quake spam. That's. Wait, does her burst give N Earth? Hold on, I gotta go back and look at that real quick. Because if her burst gives N Earth, and that's actually just. No, it doesn't give N Earth. Okay. Because if it gave N Earth, then everything I was saying is just irrelevant. Okay. Alright. Next up, we have the Ulysses for Irvine. 123 attack. It is a gun. Changes Irvine's Soulbreak to Canister Shot. Deals 3 range physical attacks on one target and temporarily lower its defense and res. This is the same as the Faris Soulbreak that I have. Kindred Spirit. I think it's a phenomenal Soulbreak. Oh, because it adds to your DPS. Since you can, like, if you're struggling for damage, you could easily just use Canister Shot, and boom, that's another defense and res down the stacks with full break and armor and mental break as well. So this will, help out phenomenally. It'll be exponentially helpful. Is that the right word? I don't know. I hope it is. So with the Minotaur Plate, decent heavy armor, 125 attack, 58 res, give shell to the party. Again, this is only useful if you don't have Shelga, to be honest. Although you can give this to someone who's, like, if you don't have a unique Soulbreak for them, you can cast Shelga with them at the start of the battle and just, free up a spot on your white mage. But, I'd rather just have Shelga on my white mage at that point. Because I don't know. You can free up a spot on your white mage with this, but I just think this is a lot more situational than helpful. Because if you already have Shelga, like, I would rather just use my own Shelga, because that way my white mage can have it and it'll last longer. Actually, can any white mages equip heavy armor? That's probably somewhere. I don't know. No, Golbez isn't a white mage. I was like, Golbez can use heavy armor, but he's black mage. Anyway, finally we have the Grand Sword, 132 attack. Nothing special about it. I don't think the sword was in Final Fantasy VIII. I don't remember it being there. Then again, I didn't really play Final Fantasy VIII too extensively. I just watched Kasich Scope play it. That's really all the knowledge I have for it. I got up to Lunatic Pandora, and that's about it. Anyway, let's do this 100 gem draw. And wait for the second half of the banner because it's not out yet. And I'll just upload this and that together. Alright, let's see. Oh, Thunderstaff, man. So like, this would be useful if I didn't already have 2 5-star Thunderstaff. Oh wait, this doesn't. This is Thunder Rod actually. That's what I meant, Thunder Rod. It doesn't. Okay, it does still add small bolts of lightning damage. So if you do need that, you can get one of these. Also, oh yeah, I got a 5-star in one of the 4 draws, but it's irrelevant. Like, it's a generic 5-star that was off banner. I think I got like a 5-star. I got the Priest Mitre for Final Fantasy VI, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, I'll meet you guys back here once the second half of the banner drops. Alright, so I'm back with the second half of the 8 banner, so let's take a look, shall we? I don't think there's any burst super slow breaks in this half of the banner, but first up we have the almassi revolver, which is pretty cool. It ciphers Gunblade, 144 attack. Send the Cypher Soulbreak to Zansetsuken Reverse, deals 3 physical attacks to all targets with a high chance to instantly KO them, temporarily raise a party's defense moderate amount, which is quite nice. I really like this one because this happens actually in Final Fantasy VIII when, I think it's the last Cypher fight, maybe second to last. If you have Odin, he will automatically get summoned and he will just slice Odin in half. And then he'll allow you to get Gilgamesh. Sorry, a little spoiler there if you haven't played Final Fantasy VIII, but I figure if you haven't played it yet, you probably have no interest in playing it now. If you did, I'm sorry. You just got spoiled a little bit, but whatever. Yeah, this seems like a pretty good soul break. It's got that defense boost, so again, this will be really good if you want to use darkness abilities with Cypher, as I think his Dark Bargain lowers your defense by like 30% or something to that effect. So, or maybe it's 25%, but yes, this is pretty good for a Cypher. Especially considering his first soul break was just trash, but I mean, it makes sense because how they do like the characters like Squall, and Squall is or Cypher is Squall's rival, and both Squall and Cypher had a pretty bad first soul break. So, next up we have the Bismarck for Irvine. I don't know if that's his ultimate weapon in Final Fantasy VIII. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable about 8 as I am about like 7, 9, 10, 13. But 128 attack, changes Cypher's Soulbreak, Cypher, Irvine Soulbreak to Dark Shot. Deals 6 range attacks to random targets with a high chance to slow and blind them. Deals more damage to slow and blinded targets. Now, I really like this Soulbreak. Well, I like the secondary effect of it. I don't like how it's random targets. I do like how it has a high chance to blind and slow them. And it also has the Machinist effect where it deals higher damage to slower blinded targets already. This effect will only come into play if they're slower blinded prior to you clicking this. Because if I'm not mistaken, they don't take effect till after the attack is fully done, because if they did, that'd be pretty broken, especially considering attacks that like raise your stats, you know, stuff like that. So I'm like 90% sure that it happens. You know, it'll apply the boost if you're already afflicted with that status. Again, all I don't like about this is the random target thing. Other than that, I think it's a good soul break. So I wouldn't really recommend using this against the ultimate fight. I don't even know if the ultimate fight can be statused, so single target is just best. Next up, we have the the Crescent Wish for Selfie. 59 attack, 117 magic, 138 mind. Phenomenal soul break here at Dreamstage. AoE Kiraga plus magic blink. As I said, phenomenal. I pull this on the White Mage Nightmare. I've been loving it. I don't really use Selfie all that much, but if I feel that I need a secondary White Mage, Selfie is always the one to come in now because I have a phenomenal AoE heal on her. Next up, we have Squall's Jacket. A new relic here, 20 attack, 124 defense, 124 res, quite good for light armor. Change Squall Soulbreak to Mystic Flurry, does 5 ranged physical ice attacks to one target, and temporarily infuse a power with ice. This is quite interesting. I don't I'm pretty sure no, this isn't the thing that Squall used ever in the game. I don't know if you can even have elemental strikes in the game, because I know magic is based off drawing and stuff like that. But this is a pretty cool concept at the very least. And it'll help out a lot for the Ifrit dungeon, I guess I can call it. Like, it's happening later today, but I'm not entirely sure if it is if it actually is later. I'm recording this on the 26th. I think this today, or maybe it was yesterday, the second after the banner dropped. But regardless, this is pretty decent for that. Next up, I think we have the second best relic here on the banner. Sorceress Crown. The first, I think, would be Sophie's Super Soul Break, and then well, this could arguably, because if you're looking for a mage team, this is probably the relic you're going after. 41 magic, 89 defense, 132 res, 30 mind, changes Idia's Soul Break to Inaugural Parade, temporarily raises the party's magic a small amount and grant them haste. Again, this is a copy of Kefka's Magic Infusion, with a slightly inferior version of Edward's latest Super Soul Break, or Soul Break, is it Super Soul Break? I think it's a Super, or Edward's latest Soul Break. I don't remember if it's a Super Soul Break, and I also don't remember the name, but it's just 30% magic and haste to get to the party, as opposed to the 20% we have here. This is still a great Soul Break, but you're probably, like, if you have Edwards, use that over this, is what I'm basically trying to say. And of course, oh nope, we still have one more. Let's have the Gauntlet. 139 attack, changes Gazelle's Soul Break to Meteor Barrage, deals 3 attacks on one target, and grant Protect, Shell, and Haste to the user. I already spoke about this. I think this is kind of selfish. I'm not really a fan of it all that much. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty good Soul Break, but I just don't like how it's it gives all the boosts to one character. Gilgamesh has a very similar one, actually it's the exact same thing. And like I was saying, like I was like Repentant, I'm like, I really have no reason to use that over, or even want that over Deathclaw, because the secondary effects usually won't be too beneficial to me, I feel, because, you know, you'll have your roaming warrior, you'll have your own either Shelgar or Protega already. Haste is nice if you're doing Sid missions, so you might want the haste. You know what? No, for Sid missions, this is probably pretty good. Yeah. But outside of Sid missions, I really don't think this is too great of a relic to have because of the overall nature of it. We have the last 2 relics here again, as usual. Do my 100 gem draw, get this 3-star, and hopefully I'll upload this later today, actually on time, and do the bonus battles as well. So let's see what 3-star we get today. Which one is this? A stone sword, I think? Is that? Stone blade. I was close. From Final Fantasy VI. Okay. Well, that's going to be all for this video. Alright, so before I actually end off this video, the Lucky Draw banner just dropped today. So I'm going to tack this onto the end of the Final Fantasy VIII banner. So let's take a quick look. Obviously it's Lucky Draw, so half price mithril. The relics, anyone who has support 5. I don't think it's a very long list, so your odds of getting a decent relic should be quite high. We got, you know, Platinum Sword, Loxley Bow, Avis Killer, Killer Bow. I think Trader's Bow is good as well. Yuichi's Bow, both Edward's Harps, quite nice. And wow, that's a really small pool. So if you do get a rainbow, it should be good. If you're gonna be like me, well, you're not gonna get a rainbow. So let's cough up this 50 mithril. Oh, I'm sorry, 25. Jeez, I just said it would be half price, and then all right, call this 25 mithril and start suffering. I'm not expecting a. If I do get a rainbow, it'll probably be Scream again. That's what I'm expecting right now. Okay, see, like I said, be like me, you don't get a rainbow. Any like good 4-stars I can use though? I'm skipping these now because they're not relevant. Oh, Flame Tongue. I think I have one of those. I might have 2 of those actually that are 6 stars already. And nope, no decent 4-stars worth using. Actually, wait. Hold on, I don't. This is for 6. I might be okay. I think this. I don't think this will help my 12 synergy at all because I'm pretty sure. I actually no. It might. Oh well. Anyway, I just want to tack this on at the end before I forget, and I will see you guys next time. Later.